So we are here at WUKY at the Urban Art Collective Gallery opening this afternoon. You are so amazing, and we are so glad to have you with us. Would you introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about what you do?
My name is Taca Hollis, and I'm a poet. I've been doing this for a little while, and I got connected with Divine Karama, and that's how I was able to be noticed a little bit.
Today, we're kind of talking to the artists and the musicians and the poets that are here, and we're asking them about their creative process. And in asking the artists, of course, we're getting all kinds of descriptions of what that means to actually put that vision that they have on that basically starts on a blank sheet of paper, right? And ends up on the wall looking all glorious like they do today. Would you tell us about what your creative process is as a poet?
Oh, man. So for me, it looks like a tornado of words just spinning in my mind. And so depending on where my heart is, depending on where my mind is, I begin to pull words that fit and match where I'm at in the moments. And that's how the beginning of my process starts.
Oh, that's outstanding. And are you enjoying yourself today?
I actually really am. It's a beautiful vibe in here.
What have you enjoyed most experiencing?
The art.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and so what I'm understanding is a lot of this art was created during the pandemic. Not all of it, but some of it was. And did you develop any what I call superpowers during that time that really contributed to the art that you do?
I have to say yes, simply because during the pandemic, you didn't have a choice but to go inward, at least for myself. You were alone, you were by yourself for the most part, and going inward, it causes you to begin to examine yourself a little bit closer. And out of examining myself a little bit closer, the art actually became a little more intimate for me. And so being able to express the things that I had, newly discovered, it just became beautiful, a beautiful situation.
I've always wondered how people that are not artists really coped during that time, from a mental health standpoint, because I know that I wouldn't have been able to do it without music and actually just sitting down to practice my piano, which I hadn't done in a long time. But what that did to really stabilize all of the emotions and the ups and downs that all of us were experiencing outside of the actual health crisis itself, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So one of those things, it's kind of like a blessing and a disguise, right?
Absolutely.
So what do you feel like a day like today really represents, not only to people like you that are poets and artists, but what do you think it represents to the community of Lexington, Kentucky in general?
I think that it adds a really beautiful element. Just being truthful, like we've been fighting like crimes and the violence for so long. And stuff like this gets kind of swept under the rug. And so for it to be coming to the forefront now, and it's people that have intentions of healing our communities, healing hearts and minds, I think that it contributes just beauty of it. I probably lost my words in there, but that's the biggest thing.
I don't think you did. I think beauty is a great descriptor, right, of what this is doing. And, as a poet, like I said, I can kind of see the wheels turning, right? And that probably happens for you all the time, doesn't
Constantly.
it? Do you find that even just observing things from the eyes of your own experiences and what you're witnessing, does that contribute to your artistic process at times as well?
Absolutely. It's probably the biggest influencer.
Do you keep a pencil and paper close by, or do you type into your phone, or what process do you use when those ideas come? Like if you're in the shower and an idea comes to you?
All of the above. I have a laptop. I use my phone. Yes, everything. But I'm very, very old school. So I still carry around the pen and pad.
I am too. And I will just say I'm a quote collector. So I'm kind of like a quote nerd. And I can even be like watching TV. My husband and I are championship binge watchers of all things. But I will tell you, I've got a pencil and paper right beside my couch because I'll hear something like on one of these, some of them are ridiculous shows, but some of them are, really thought-provoking, and I don't want to lose that thought. And I will say that I have seen a quote who said, like, the pencil is a very powerful concentration tool because you can't write and think of anything else at the same time. It's the only thing that you're doing that you cannot multitask.
Wow.
When we're typing on a computer, we can think of other things, but when you're actually physically writing with a pencil.
That's beautiful.
So I am so happy to meet you today, and I am looking so much forward to reading your work as well, and also what the beautiful things that are come out of your poetry for others in the community in the future.
I appreciate you for that. Thank you.
Thank you for being with us.
Absolutely.
High frequencies and high vibrations creating beats on my eardrums. Ums and affirmations in the shadow of my enlightenment. The pressure feels unbearable. Tell me, how else can diamonds form? Sitting on the cusp of eternity, staying informed by El-Amin, clairvoyant, so I keep my eye on future settings. That way, through the tears and pain, I'm reminded of victory. They think I'm arrogant because I walk confidently. Where were they when self-esteem and I went 30 years in that ring? Wonderland to Alice, I have the key. True key to life is in our identity. Divinity, never-ending nirvana, always ascending. Catch it, that's our DNA. We're of godly ancestry. Did you know there's proof of stardust within our skin? To reach the top of our family tree, we need spaceships. I don't identify with I'm from dirt wrapped in sin. I am a starseed. Love and light is what I'm birthing. Why would the supreme being create us in his image out of love, then reject us, then inject us with fearful propaganda? I know we're capable of imitating ugly. That's why understanding who we are is of grave importance. Simon says, oh yeah, they coming for our buttons. When we take a chance at life, disregard the cards handed to humanity. Born to cause trouble as we avoid the mousetrap of ego's monopoly. Payday is on the way when we let go of trivial pursuits. Not Joe Clark, but you can lean on me. We have to get up, stand up. I too am a soul rebel with a redemption song, Brother Marley. My signature just made change to paradox. I'm a beast feasting on vocabulary. Power in our words and I'm lifting nations. Only one goes before me and I am the reflection. Tested, finally passed inspection, accomplishing what I'm created for. Screaming against complacency, we must reject conformity. Get discernment up, distracted with flimsy battles like materialism. The transcendental and noxious war always has been and always will be the stability of our soul. Yes, this is a tug of war for mind control. The thoughts we allow lead us to or away from the holy grail buried within we haven't discovered. Thank you.